and that's a long time. There's a lot to cover. Most of these other videos have only been about 20 minutes, half an hour long. It's been pretty easy to break down, but this might be a different story. She's clearly said a lot, so I'm going to watch it. We're going to break it down, and we're going to have some fun with it. So let's go. So Ren has got her comments switched off for this video, which I noticed. Immediately, and I've not even watched the video yet as I'm recording this. Bear that in mind. So it's quite interesting that she's done that, really, because the other YouTubers didn't. I know Lex didn't, and people commented, and he left them open. I mean, I'm not sure whether she's chosen to do that because she's getting bullied online, which, you know what, fair enough. It's not nice to be bullied online. But in retrospect, it could mean she's hiding something, and she doesn't want people calling her out for lying. I've got no idea, but it's interesting she's turned off the comments. It makes you feel a bit like wondering why she's turned them off, but let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Just before we go further into the video, so this is me from the future, just slightly, just letting you guys know, as I'm reacting to this, I'm reacting to it as I'm watching it, so my opinions and views on certain aspects may change throughout this video. Say something that you disagree with, please watch on a little bit ahead, because I might say the correct thing or the thing that should have been said later on in the video, because obviously things change throughout the video of what she says and the evidence that she provides. It's just before I start as well, I find it a real shame that I'm making videos like this. I'm not really finding it great at the moment that this is what I've resorted to. But I just think the community should be made aware of what's going on with all these YouTubers and all the rest of it. Not because I want to exploit them and be horrible and all the rest of it, but these are serious allegations that should be nowhere near YouTube under any circumstances whatsoever. And people should not be part of the platform if this is the kind of things that are being going around at the moment. It's very, very sad to hear. So I just want to re-emphasize that, and I hope you enjoy.
This is around the time when Lex started texting my mom as well, and he started harassing her, telling her that people were harassing Lex, calling him a pedophile and groomer for what he did to Alex. Alex is a 13-year-old girl that he couldn't.
This is pure softy. This bitch looks slow. Her mouth upside down. This bitch mouth upside down. This is pure softy. Her mouth is upside down. I don't think y'all get it. Her mouth is upside down. Look at her forehead. This bitch slow. How is she not a natural blonde? With all this retardation and dumb shit, how the fuck is she not a natural blonde?
Confirmed he's talked to about relationship stuff with. Lex tries to frame it as if he had no ill intentions with her, but Alex clearly feels a different way, and she was the one who went through it. Alex has came forward herself and stated her own opinions on Lex and how she felt with him. When I was 17 years old, and I was dating Lex while he was 20 years old, I found out about Alex, and I immediately knew that he was going to try to do to Alex what he had been doing to me since I was 15 years old. He was going to try and entice another fangirl with his status and power dynamic, rather than...
They don't even sound like Lex. They don't even sound like Lex. Most of these YouTubers is regular niggas, and they think that they regular people too. Bro, her mouth is upside down.
help her and realize that we were both victims at that point. I made Lex block her on every platform that he talked to her on. I told him that our relationship was going to be over if he didn't, because that's truly how I felt. Lex blocking her
Should've just left that nigga. Now you just admitted to manipulating him, giving him an ultimatum for no reason. And you willing to make that work after seeing some shit that you probably should have left him behind. Oh, make no sense.
her made her very sad,
Like,
which is understandable because he was most definitely grooming her on the side of grooming me. Lex.
So the first part of this video, Ren goes straight into the fact that Lex has been talking to a 13-year-old about his troubles, and at the time was harassing her mum. And Ren claimed that she tried to stop Lex from contacting this girl by telling him to block her and delete her immediately. This is then followed by Lex, when contacting Ren's mum, saying that people are harassing him for contacting this Alex girl and claiming that he is a paedophile and all sorts of shenanigans. And obviously, to be fair, it's not right that he spoke to this 13-year-old. It is very, very strange behaviour. I'm giving you that. It's not good that he's doing this at all. And to be quite honest with you, what Ren says is true on this part. Yeah, he's not really got much defense in that. I'll be honest with you, I don't defend Lex in any way. Talking to a 13-year-old girl, end of conversation. It is completely not the right thing to do. So after reflection, Ren realised that Alex was being groomed as well as herself, because Alex came out on Twitter and said that when Ren told Lex to block her and not message her anymore, Alex got very upset about it, which means that Alex had feelings for Lex or felt something for Lex. And it was clear from that she was being abused by him and manipulated into liking him at such a young age. So this 13-year-old girl situation, it's not looking great. I mean, it's just something you don't do. You just don't talk to a 13-year-old. I say that in my last video, I got an OJ456 response on this. And to be fair, if all these screenshots of Alex and etc. is real, not really a great start. I'm not saying this means that the stuff with Ren is true. I've not looked into that yet as I'm talking. But regarding the Alex stuff, I mean, it's already been confirmed. It is real. He even admitted that he spoke to her, and if the age is true and whatever, then we've got a problem.
It starts with Lex grooming me at the age of 15. Lex was 18 years old at this point. Our relationship was never normal, and there was always an obvious power dynamic from the start. I started off as a fan of Lex's, and Lex would use his power to manipulate me into being silent about what was happening behind closed doors. We formed an online relationship before we met in person with the intentions of dating in 2017. We formed an online relationship in 2016, proceeded to know each other for a year, and then met each other in 2017.
Now, I'm no body language expert for this next bit, but when I saw this bit when she was talking about the situation, about the age gap and stuff between both of them, saying how much Lex abused her with gifts and the fact that he was 50, she was 15 and he's 20 at the time, which looks to me to be true, to be fair. It looks to me, though, that she looks like she's fake crying in this. I could be wrong. But to me, it doesn't look very genuine. So to me, I'm a bit skeptical of what she's saying at the moment. So I'm going to keep watching, but it's looking a bit weird.
At first, I was very shy to Lex's money, but as we continued dating, he showed me that money was just a number to him. Lex lived a luxury lifestyle with the money he made from YouTube, and he was introducing me to that lifestyle. At a very young age, Lex lifestyle with the money he made from YouTube, and he was introducing me to that lifestyle. At a very young age, Lex promised me that he would take care of me and that he would be my provider. That is a common way for groomers to get their victims to rely on them. It makes it
When they ain't say no shit like that.
care of me and that he would be my provider. That is a common way for groomers to get their victims to rely on them. It makes it easier to isolate me if Lex knew I was dependent on him. Either way, the money that
The fact that she's speaking like this, you can tell somebody else told her that. Because if you knew all this at the time, you wouldn't be around there nigga.
Lex was spending on me was able to be used in his taxes as write-offs because he doesn't have a normal job. And he
That's not true. You can't use personal purchases as a tax write-off.
money he spent
You can, because it's a gift. You can write that off, but he can't.
outside of California was able to be used as a business tax write-off. Lex
The interesting thing about
That's not a business tax write-off. If she's spending, if he's spending money on you, that would be tax fraud. That's literal tax fraud.
this next bit for me regarding the money. So she speaks about money and how that she was really shy for the money, didn't want like spending anything, but then he made it out so she'd be used to that lifestyle and all the rest of it. And Lex did admit he bought a lot of stuff at the time in his other video, but he also admitted that she was literally being money greedy at the same time, especially towards the end of the relationship, where if he didn't send money, she'd expose him. Well, he's been exposed anyway because he did stop sending money. Interestingly enough, though, it's a bit weird, this one, because I'm a bit conflicted with it, because they're both saying completely the opposite things and it's confusing. But I think, to be fair, Lex was talking about Ren wanting money from the end of the relationship, towards the end of the relationship where she took the mick. And this is talking about when they were first together. So a bit like 50-50 at the moment of what to believe. So I'm going to watch a bit more, then come back to you with another opinion if there's more evidence. Ren then shows a little bit more evidence saying that Lex will be her provider and will do anything for her, essentially. And does re-emphasize her age quite a lot, of her being 16 years old at the time with dates. And if she was this age, again, she's kind of right. I'm not even going to dispute that. Lex was talking to her when she was 16. Fair enough. Not great. But in retrospect, you could argue that it was of legal age. But she never shows anything when she was 15, but she claims the text messages have gone missing. And to be fair, the age gap isn't too big either. It's a 3-year age difference. Now, I'm not saying it's correct that Lex is speaking to a 15-year-old girl with him being 18.
But at
But
the
the age
same
gap isn't
time,
actually that big. It's not like she's 12 and he's 18. It's only a 3-year age difference, and people get in 3-year age relationships all the time. Again, I'm not justifying this because at
but
the
it
end of the
is
day,
common.
she's technically still in school. But to say that he's a paedophile, it could be a bit much, and to say that he's an abuser could again.
He could, like, I mean, like, if you want to say that it's a sign of early abuse, for sure. I know Ryan didn't say that, but for the people that are mad, right? You can't put that label. Damn, you can't put that label on them. You can't put that label on Lex, but you can question Lex like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, where this what you into? What else are you into? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, keep an eye on them type joint. Like, you know what I'm saying? If we was in high school and senior boy dating a freshman boy, you gonna question it. Question it all the time. You know what I'm saying? Even if you don't tell him, you still gonna question it. You know what I'm saying? So that's basically what Ryan's saying. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, but yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? It'd be different if it was actually like some type of legal situation or where, you know what I mean, you could speak out against that. But you can only speak out against that type of age gap at that age from a society standpoint. Like, society might not like that. Doesn't make it illegal, but society definitely don't like that.
And could be a bit much. Because the age difference to me is not like, whoa, because if she was 16, this would be completely fine. So it's a very, like, it's an edgy one for me. I mean, maybe I'm wrong about this. Maybe I'm talking rubbish. Maybe you guys can tell me how.
Nah, bro, you actually, that is like literally the whole legal reasoning behind all this stuff and why they put labels on a certain way. You know what I'm saying? And that's also why, in a lot of cases nowadays, you aren't even considered a legal adult until you're 21. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, in my state, you can't buy anything until you're 21 now. You can't buy anything. You know what I'm saying? So even to play the lottery, you gotta be 21 to play the lottery. So it's like, if you under 21, you know what I'm saying, it's like from 17 to 20, y'all might as well be the same age. You know what I'm saying? Because the only difference is probably where you work at, what kind of car you drive. And even at that, it might not be that. Because there's people that's 16 years old with their parents' money. They got more money than people that graduated 3 years ago. So it's like, I'm saying it's like that 3 year, it can mean a lot, but it doesn't for the most part. Like I'm saying, if I'm a sophomore and you just graduated, I can pull that. If I'm a junior and you graduated 2 years ago, I can pull that. If I'm a senior and you a sophomore in college, I can pull that. Like, what are you talking about? I'm saying because as soon as I hit college, if I'm 17 in college, I can pull I can pull the seniors, and they probably gonna be 20 something, 23, 24, 22, 23. Like I'm saying, so it's like you gotta look at it in a realistic sense. And because of what Ryan is saying, thank you. Like, thank you.
How much of an idiot I am and how wrong I am. Maybe I am, but my perspective is it's like it's wrong. It's not right, but it's not the worst thing in the world. And I
Yeah.
think it's been over exaggerated. But it's like it's weird. I feel like
Over exaggerated. Ever since the beginning, that's all we've been saying, bro. And that's the main reason why I want to go crazy making videos about this. I made 15 videos about it. But if I was going to go crazy, I would have made like 40, 50 videos about the situation. Because there's so much that could be said, and I know it's going to get views every single time. But it's like, when I'm looking at this, I'm like, you know what? Nah, bro. Nah, bro. You know what I'm saying? They trying to blow this out of proportion. You know what I'm saying? They always try to do that. Now, certain people, they actually do things and then they try to undermine it. But this is one of those situations where it's like, bro, why y'all trying to go crazy? Where it's like, I'm saying, if it was some real shit, I mean, it'd be some real shit.
people use the word legal and all the rest of it too much. Again, it's technically illegal. I think if I'm correct, if it's not, again, I don't really know. But I'm just going to re-emphasize: it's weird, but not the worst thing in the world.
Hi, this is my encounter with Lex raping me. The first time Lex raped me was when I was 16 years old, and in my first Google document,
What? 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 Nobody, not a single person ever took that claim serious. Not a single soul ever took that claim serious. You're really trying to double down with this? You didn't even mention this.
that he never addressed, I go into detail about how Lex orally raped me multiple times at the Z house, even when
Okay. Now when you say that, I'm pretty sure that that 4 letter word is not the word to use. I'm pretty sure there's another word that begins with an M. That's what you will call that, but maybe in a legal sense it is the 4 letter word. And I'm saying I ain't gonna say that that could be a lie there. I ain't gonna say that could be a lie because listen, man, I know dudes, man. I know dudes. I don't be hanging around them for a reason, man. The stuff that they tell you, the yo, and I can believe that Lex would do something like this. I'm not gonna say that he did, but damn, now I gotta make a video about this shit, man. I ain't even want to do that. I ain't even want to do that, bro. But I ain't going to cat, man. Just that, like, bro, replay that, because at first it sounded crazy.
Not the worst thing in the world.
Hi, this is my encounter with Lex raping me. The first time
That was crazy.
Lex raped me
That was crazy.
was when I was 16 years old,
I'm thinking like, huh?
and in my first Google document that he never addressed, I go into detail about how Lex orally raped me multiple times at the Z house, even when I told him no. Lex would beg me
Say that again.
was when I was 16 years old. And in my first Google document that he never addressed, I go into detail about how Lex orally raped me multiple times at the Z.
Now I don't know if that's the 4 letter word. Again, I'm gonna repeat. That sound like a five. Is it 6 letter word to begin with an M? I ain't gonna say that she lying, because uh, a lot of stuff that was said did sound questionable, but this is one of them big question marks with a nani on it. Like that right there. My apologies if y'all seen that, but that right there, that's something that when it comes to certain things, all right, because I know how people are. I'm not saying that Lex is like this, but I can believe this. If this was said about me, I would respond to this because Oral, you know what that means. I can imagine plenty of situations in comment sections and in real life of people speaking on things that they have done with whoever they was with at the time. And on the flip side, that I've heard females speak on that in comment sections and in real life about how they may or may not like that. Is there a possibility that this happened? I would say it's 50-50. Is there a possibility that Pure Sophie did not want that to happen? If she really like her sleep and she do not want to be disturbed, now again, I ain't gonna say that. You know what I'm saying? I believe this, but yo, just hearing it like that, I ain't never. Did that sound real familiar, bruh? That sound real familiar, bruh. If you ever seen anything on Instagram, any type of post when it comes to referring to that type of intimacy, you be surprised at how many people think certain things are normal. Now, Ren and Mr. T Lexify, they both could have had, a lot of things was spoken about how they like certain things. So would it be too far fetched to say that something so microscopic in comparison to something that they do both like happened? It would not be too far fetched to say that that's probably happened. Now, as far as pure softy liking or not liking that's completely up for debate. You know what I'm saying? But I'm inclined to believe that, you know what I mean, one night, one person or the other tried to do a little something, something. Other person wasn't feeling it. Or maybe they was. I'm saying, but I've done heard a few stories that it's both from people lying and people telling the truth. You know what I'm saying? And usually you can tell when somebody lying about, I mean, like I know that her face. I mean, she's looking with the camera and all that. I was joking about this stuff before, but I mean, like, oh, that's a common thing. That's a very common thing. It's common enough to where even if you ain't do nothing like that, you might want to say something, like, because it's very common, and it's not safe to. I mean, it's just best to come forward. I mean, if you ain't do it, I mean, if you ain't do nothing like that. I mean, you say you ain't do nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Now, if there was something going on and that's what it was, you don't gotta say that's what it was. But I'm saying it might save you. However, you just like, no, man. Like, if you think in your head, I know what happened. That ain't what happened. I know what happened though. Then you might not gotta respond to that. You know what I'm saying? You ain't respond to it the first time. It was in a Google Doc. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. Out of all the police reports, there were plenty of police reports filed on both ends about multiple different occasions. I will always bring that up. If police was already involved in y'all relationship, listen, man, it's just when it comes to the legal when it comes to the legal system and how they operate and all that, I am the most inclined to follow the way that they do it, or at least attempt to follow as close as possible to their policies and regulations and their formalities, just to play it safe. Especially when this stuff is going on YouTube. Out of everything that I've ever heard, this sounds the most realistic. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying like as in an assault, but I mean as in a moment in time of their relationship. I mean, like, some men like to, you know what I'm saying, pleasure their woman. You know what I'm saying? Some women like to pleasure their men. You know what I'm saying? So it really depends. But me personally, I'm pretty inclined to believe that potentially happened. Just the action. You know what I'm saying? As far as the crime, I can't say.
House. even when I told him no. Lex would beg me over and over until I eventually gave in, leaving me to feel guilty with myself. Lex wouldn't take no for an answer, and at this point, I was 16 years old and Lex is 19 years old. Lex would get me high and drunk and then take me into the room at the end of the night with him.
At the Z house? All right. So here's how I'm gonna do it the most, right? As far as to be fair to everybody, when I did Noah's reaction, I looked at it as if he was telling the truth. When I did Lex's reaction, I looked at it as if he was telling the truth. TSP reaction, when it came to him, I kind of like speculated that, you know what I mean, but it was kind of hard because it was real hard. So here I'm gonna try my best to give some leeway where it is, as if it was true. So let's say that this did happen. Let's say this did actually happen, right?
At the Z house, even when I told him no. Lex would beg me over and over until I eventually gave in, leaving me to feel guilty with myself. Lex wouldn't take no for an answer, and at
All right, yeah, man. If you feel guilty about engaging with your partner, again, there's a lot of reasons why you should have left, but I'm gonna let you continue.
this point, I was 16 years old and Lex is 19 years old. Lex would get me high and drunk and then take me into the room at the end of the night with him.
At the Z house?
And Lex is 19 years old. Lex would get me high and drunk and then take me into the room at the end of the night with him.
At the Z house?
And Lex is 19 years old. Lex would get me high and drunk and then take me into the room at the end of the night with him.
At the Z house? I mean, like, them boys like the party. If them boys like the party, then you know what I'm saying, she definitely was taking action. And again, in a lot of states, that age is the age of consent, which means that she consented to drinking and partying with people that really she shouldn't have. Although those people are going to have to be held liable for, damn, hold on, what's the drinking age in Cali? Because if the whole entire Z house was under 21 and everybody's drinking, that's corruption of a minor and everything of that sort. Like, even if no certain types of actions happen, so long, just this alone is a crime. And honestly, she would have to take responsibility for that. You know what I'm saying? Now, she wouldn't have to take responsibility for, well, she might not have to take responsibility for actions afterwards, but as far as leading up to it and probably being in this state, yeah, she might have to. You know what I mean? But let's say this did happen and that happened and that was true. Again, her being taken advantage of, regardless if she wanted to get drunk or high or whatever, that she never asked to be taken advantage of. Nobody asked for that. So, you know what I'm saying, if we're looking at this like this is true, it seems like, I'm like, I never heard Shorty speak, man. Like, I'm saying, as far as Foosley, when she was speaking, she wasn't speaking like this. I mean, now could she be trying to sound believable? Possibly. But just from this little clip right here,
The first time I ever got drunk with him is when I recorded these videos at the Z house. Lex claims I look happy in these videos, but I am incredibly intoxicated.
that's probably like out of everything, that right there is like the biggest thing. And I think that's like when I did the Surviving Z House, the whole documentary, this right here is like what I'm calling Lex out for. Like, this is something you gotta respond to. Like, you know what I'm saying? Now, I didn't know that it was to this degree, but I knew that, come on, bro, you ain't gonna tell me Lex is a saint, bro. Now, I ain't think that he was probably doing anything illegal, but I'm like, then again, if there was anything illegal going on, I was mostly blaming everybody in the Z house. But some people might have to take more responsibility than others. That's wicked work.
I'm keeping this bit as short as possible, but Ren goes into the whole rape situation in this and claims that Lex raped her after the videos that she made of them two together where he was sort of touching her. And to be fair, they are pretty creepy and weird. You can watch that yourself. I'm not putting that on this channel. Absolutely not. But The point is it's I can't even describe this. The point I'm trying to make is I don't get why Ren would even film this and then claim that she was raped afterwards. There's literally no evidence at all of this being the case. And yes, he did touch her weirdly and do this, but it doesn't mean that he then raped her afterwards. There's not enough evidence to support.
Hold on. Hold on. It's just as much of a possibility that it didn't happen is just as much of a possibility that it did happen because there's not enough evidence. There's not enough supporting evidence, but there's not enough denying evidence either. At this point, it's he said, she said, and if she's the only person that brought up the allegation and Lex didn't respond to it, that's the reason why I said that this is one of the things that you should respond to, regardless if you did it or not. This is one of those things to where it's a gray area. And the only, like I'm saying, like, what? You gotta, listen, bro. If it was one of them times where you tried doing something and saying she wasn't with it, and you didn't stop yourself, you better admit to that. But if she was with it, and that's the reason why you ain't stopped, you don't gotta say that, but you should at least say no. She's not telling the truth at the very minimum, because then you're being vague, and it's like, okay, she's lying about that. Do we know what she's lying about? No. Do you have to explicitly say what she's lying about? No. All you have to do is deny the allegations if it didn't happen. I ain't gonna lie. This is 2 hours. That's 2 hours. Listen, bro. Depending who pull up to the stream, we might have to go watch Pure Softy video. I'm saying, mind you. Now, when it comes to this whole thing, the only reason why I'm continuing to make videos on it is one, and this is the main reason, because y'all asked me to. You know what I'm saying? Y'all asked me to. I've been giving y'all my final thoughts on the Mr. T-Lex spot situation. Technically, this is a Ren situation. And I did say that if nobody says anything before Black Ops 6 comes out, that I wasn't going to say anything. But Black Ops 6 did not come out yet. It's only in early access. So, I mean, and I said that Lex was on a 90-day probationary period. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to give him leeway. There was a lot of things that was coming out. There was a lot of videos being made. But when it comes to this, I think I'd be wrong to just speak on this for the first half, but not on the second half. You know what I'm saying? Because that was the defendant. Here goes the plaintiff. Back again.
Support this claim, unfortunately. And if it is true, I'm sorry, Ren, but I can't believe you on this evidence alone. You have to provide a heck of a lot more because it's just.
This is why it creates a gray area. Because in order for her to provide evidence, it's going to really just have to be a statement. You know what I'm saying? And that's also why I said it might be the wrong word that's being used, because the difference between the two words is the evidence that's left behind. If one thing happens, certain type of evidence can't be washed away. If another thing happens, the evidence usually isn't left behind or it doesn't stay for very long. So, you know what I'm saying? That's where my only gray area comes in at as far as determining what actually happened. You know what I'm saying? It sounds like something did happen, but as far as specifically, I can't pinpoint that.
Not feasible. Literally after I just said that, I just watched the next part. She showed more evidence, and the evidence is not looking great on Lex's part. Unfortunately, you can see him, kissing her, all the rest of it. But she says she was 16 and he was 19, 18. But she's no longer 15. But there's no evidence of anything going on when she was really 15. So that's interesting to me. But she claims that she was raped. But in the picture that I actually just saw, which does look very wrong and weird, and I don't know why it is a bit, it's disgusting. It's not something I want to see on YouTube. It doesn't look like rape because she looks like she's very consensual to it, and she said,
Hold on. She said that she was intoxicated, not being at the drinking age. I'm saying that's the reason why I'm saying if you're taking advantage of, there's multiple different crimes to put to that. It might not be the 4 letter word, but it could be another word. It could be another crime. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying. And honestly, I feel like there's a possibility that Lex could have committed a crime. Specifically him. At first I thought it was like some illegal things are just going on in the house. Everybody gotta take responsibility. But now it's like I feel like maybe it was Lex really doing some things, you know what I'm saying? Like, alright, Noah cheated on his wife. That's not illegal. I mean, like, it's a legal thing. You know what I'm saying? Having an affair is illegal, but you're not going to go to jail for it. You're going to get sued. Um, JC, did he lose any houses or anything? You know what I'm saying? Did he get sued? Did he get a divorce? And then as far as like, this is the only illegal stuff that's being brought up. You know what I'm saying? Besides like underage drinking of everybody, and then if anybody was 21 at the time in that Z house, bringing alcohol for everybody that's underage. You know what I'm saying? That's also a crime. But as far as individually, what's being presented is this. That's the only thing that's being presented.
Says she's not, but in the picture, she doesn't look like she was intoxicated at all. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
She probably can control her liquor. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe she's strong. Maybe she only had but one shot. You know what I'm saying? But when you're buzzed, a buzz is still drunk. You know what I'm saying? If you're driving buzzed, you can, you know what I'm saying, get a DUI. And mind you, I'm looking at all this from a legal perspective. You know what I'm saying? As far as reality, it's kind of hard to pinpoint what is legal. You know what I'm saying? So that's the reason why you gotta speculate. You know what I'm saying? And that's also the reason why people gotta come forward. Like, what the hell? If you ain't got no jury, then, you know what I mean? What you expect? If I'm a judge and I'm looking at all this, it's like, bro, do I think something happened? Hell yeah. Do I know what happened? Fuck no, ain't nobody saying nothing. Niggas say something. If you like, what? Now, as far as Ren making this 2 hour video, now it seemed like Ren the only person that said something. If you compare this 2 hour video to everything else, it seemed like Ren is the only person saying something. Now, is there a possibility that she threw a bunch of stuff in there just to make people look bad? Yeah. Is there a reason to do so? Yeah. But does the stuff that I'm seeing right now sound believable? Yeah. At very minimum, sounds believable, which means that's beyond a reasonable doubt. If it sounds believable, if it sounds reasonable, that is beyond a reasonable doubt. So that already is enough, and which is why sometimes people just get convicted without the evidence. Because just between the he said, she said, just with this right here, it sounds like Lex is losing. Because Lex didn't respond to this. Out of everything that Lex said in his video, he ain't say nothing like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't say anything that alluded to this type of allegation. He responded to pedophilia claims. He didn't respond to literally assaulting somebody, like I'm saying. And the only reason why I never brought it up is because when you had Noah bring his stuff up, when you had Lex bring, I mean, not like, when you had TSP bring his stuff up, you know what I'm saying? Really before even Noah, because Noah didn't really say anything. But when TSP said what he said, now this kind of make a little bit more sense as to why TSP wouldn't want to be hearing nothing that you're saying. You know what I'm saying? Even after you drop your video, now I understand why TSP said what he said. It's not really about being a friend at that point. You know what I'm saying, even if y'all had some type of animosity before that, it's not even about that now. And mind you, everything that I said prior, everything that everybody has said, it still stands. But this changes the perspective of what was being said as far as the reasoning why. Lex was the first, not the first person to make a video, but Lex made a video after TSP, right? After everybody done dropped all the big news, right? 30-minute video, pretty well made. Like a month later, Period Softly come through. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because 2 hour video after all this time, that makes sense. If you ask me why she responded after all this time, because she was waiting for She was recording and editing and doing all this for 2 hour video. Like what? She wanted to release all the documents on Google Docs so people can, you know what I'm saying, see what's going on. But the reason why I never looked through it is because it's a Google document. Why you want me to, you mean? But with this being made, this might be the most viral video.
But I can't see that. I really can't see that. And then goes on to read a bunch of very creepy messages. I won't even sugarcoat this. They are very weird messages that Lex sent to her via Twitter. I mean, they're all these weird email screenshot things. Whether they're legit or not's another matter. I've got no idea. But what I can see at face value, they're very creepy. And him saying that stuff makes me very uncomfortable. It's just no. It's the stuff you don't say, man. It's very, very.
I ain't gonna lie. Maybe Lex was scared. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, right, we live in a world where the smallest thing can ruin your image, right? So let's say Lex did do something so small, but he knows that it's gonna ruin his image. I'm not telling the whole truth, it's still lying. So lying about something like that is gonna tarnish your image more than, you know what I'm saying, being looked at like a hero for a month. You know what I'm saying? You got that 30 days of grace, you know what I'm saying, from the entire COD community. Now this come out. How you gonna respond is you gotta come back with a video now. You have to. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, you know what I mean?
Very weird. So then she goes on to, send more screenshots of these messages and explain them in a bit more detail. But there's one interesting thing that I'm getting from this that's confusing me a little bit. You guys might know I'm not from the US, but I Googled it anyway. So I Googled the age of consent in the United States, and it literally says 16 as the lowest age. But if
And hold on. And it says approximately 30 states. That's what I'm saying. That's the reason why I say everything I'm saying, because it's like, and look, you see Cali. Cali is green. Cali is green. Which means that age of consent is probably lower than 18. You know what I'm saying? Or it might be 18 actually. So let me tell you, it says 11 states. Are there 11 green states? That might be 17 now. Cali might be 17. Yo, Lex. Yo, Lex. If that green stands for 17, Lex, you in trouble? But you see how vague it is? You see how vague it is? And then even though with the chart, it could be outdated information. And it's crazy because I I know this. So it's like the whole time looking at it with knowing this, the entirety is a gray area. Just with knowing this, the entirety, no matter what state you're in, it's the gray area. Just just taking this one little paragraph. You know what I'm saying? It's not even really a paragraph. It's a compound sentence. Take this compound sentence that is extended by what, 3 commas, 4 commas, and compare that to all the information that you have been presented with during this case. Now that you have, because this is just a basic explanation. Just a basic explanation. This varies state to state and city to city, and probably county to county, municipality to municipality. Like I'm saying, like depending where you at, it's different. Literally, different folks, different strokes. Literally, I'm saying. But does this defend anything? No. If anything, this could be used to make Lex look worse or prove his guilt.
in the United States, and it literally says 16 as the lowest age. But if they had sex at 16 and she said it was not consensual, not of age, am I missing something here?
Yes, you are. So consent is only it's accountability. Consent is accountability, right? If you're saying yes, you take accountability for this, either it's going to help the quote abuser take a lesser charge or not get charged at all, or it's going to open up a gateway for both of you to take the fall. And that's the reason why I was saying Ren might have to take accountability, because if she's saying it's consensual, then that means that she's 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 disregarding her parental advisory, and she's doing something that she's not supposed to. And if it's against the law, then she can be held accountable for it. She can be held liable for her actions. I'm saying, and everything that she said in her in the clips of the video that I have seen from this video, that can either be used against her, which is the whole reason why they say what you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. Although this is her defense can get her in trouble based on the laws, depending on what county, township, year, and everything that's all happened in. It all depends. I'm trying to tell you. And then if she's saying that it's consensual, that means that she already disregarded her parental advisory, which means her parents can't do anything about this. It's like if if I'm the age of consent, right? It it's up to me and my parent to, you know what I'm saying, deal with a certain situation legally. You know what I'm saying? Either she can be there, she can be present, or I can. Nah, I got it. That's something that I actually do. You know what I'm saying? Because my mom care a little bit too much about certain things that I don't. So it's like, listen, man, I don't care as much, but this is real, so I can handle this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Other things, it's like I can't stop you from getting involved. But that's where the law comes in. The law comes in where even if you want to get involved with your child's case or whatever actions, anything, it doesn't even have to be a illegal thing that they did. If they disregarded your parental advisory, you know what I'm saying, and you're not directly involved in the case, you're not allowed to really be there. I'm saying you're not allowed to, you know what I mean, because you're emotionally connected to the case, all this, that, and the third, perjury, mistrials, man, all that, man, contempt, you know what I'm saying? That's what I was saying. But since all this is out there, although that might not apply now because it's all consensual, this is going to apply. These laws are going to apply. You know what I'm saying? She can't get off scot free if anything illegal happened. If something illegal happened to her, you know what I'm saying, she's going to have to, you know what I'm saying? There are consequences for being a victim. Not saying that you're going to be penalized, but there's unfortunately there's consequences for being a victim. That's just the only way that I can really put it. If something happened to you, you probably gotta take accountability, you gotta take responsibility, you gotta take the fall. You know what I'm saying? Because it happened to you. You know what I'm saying? Something happened to you, you have to admit that it happened to you, this, that, and the third, whatever, whatever, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whereas if you did something to somebody, if you were involved with a certain type of situation, now you gotta take accountability. Like, you feel me? Like, that's what that is. Hopefully, Ryan, if you see this right now, or if you see this after I post it, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully that explained it in a good enough detail. But even at that, it's all gray because that doesn't apply to every single case. Literally, every single case is different. Even if Ren was 12 at the time, because let's say you're under the age of 16, right? But you still say that you quote gave consent. You know what I'm saying? Meaning that you know what that means and you know what you were doing, and you mean that's what you meant to do and it was intentional, right? Now that's where it's like, all right, what do we do about this? Because it's case by case. Who said that first? Who said case by case? They was going, I think it was a comment or something like that.
Because to me that does sound legal. I'm not saying
It could be legal, but if it is legal, then they're going to have to take responsibility. So that's all that means. That just means that Ren will have to take responsibility for her actions. That's all that means. That's all that means. So I'm saying, even if nothing illegal happened here, that doesn't mean that nothing illegal happened in the Z house. It would just be circumstantial. This is what you call circumstantial evidence. It changes the circumstance. It changes the perception of the case and everything. You know what I'm saying? That could be wrong. Mind you, I'm not a lawyer, but I do know what I'm talking about for the most part. You know what I'm saying? And if I'm wrong, please correct me. But based on my research and dealing with the legal system and seeing the legal system in action firsthand and knowing what they do and know what they talk about and shit like that. I know. You know what I'm saying, or at least I think I know. I think I understand what was in front of me, regardless if it was like physically in front of me or like digitally through a screen or something like that. I think I understand.
Saying she consented to it because I've not got a clue, to be honest with you. She says she didn't, and there's evidence to support that she might have not done. But again, we don't fully know the truth because we weren't in the room at the time, obviously. So no one's ever going to know, and the evidence is going to be a lot weaker than it would have been at the time.
Exactly.
Anyway, overall though, I'm confused. I don't know. But the age
Oh, actually, the evidence might not be weaker because that's how cold cases are solved. You know what I'm saying? That's how cases are solved like 40, 50, 60 years later. Somebody admits something where they slip up, say something to the wrong person, or I mean anything like that, and it's like, oh, that changes a lot. That changes a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and it's 2 hours of this, man. It sounds like a confession to me.
of consent, as far as I'm aware, is 16 in the US. That's what it says on Google. So unless you guys can tell me otherwise, then
That's where Lex went wrong. Although he understood what he was reading, he did not understand what it meant. You know what I'm saying? I always try to look for what it means. You know what I'm saying? For one, I like older women. I always have. You know what I'm saying? But still, like I'm saying, even if it's not this type of situation, it could be anything. Anything. Even driving. When it comes to driving, bro, you got to know what an infraction is. You got to know what a misdemeanor is. You got to know what a felony is. You know what I'm saying? You got to know what's grounds for a traffic stop. You got to know how to conduct yourself during a traffic stop. You got to know how what cops are supposed to do, like pretty much so that you can be prepared, stuff like that. Like I'm saying, it's a big deal. It's a huge deal, and that's how people get caught up. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I would never need a lawyer. You know what I'm saying? If Lex just got extorted and now he paying all this money for a lawyer, how that look? If this is what he was saying to Ren out of desperation, imagine what he's saying to his lawyer out of desperation. And all his lawyer is looking for is the truth. Regardless if Lex is innocent or guilty, all your lawyer is supposed to do is present the truth for real. Like I'm saying, that's how people can get off. It's like if you tell your lawyer the absolute truth and your lawyer knows the law and he's like, all right, bet this is actually legal. There is no wrongdoing here. If anything, you know what I'm saying there's this, but most times they wouldn't even mention that. They're just going to look for the way out. But you have to tell them the truth with that. Because if you lie to your lawyer, you lie to anybody.
I'm
You
baffled.
paying your lawyer.
So in this
I'd like to spend some time to talk about how Lex said that I have a fake ID and that I used my fake ID to get.
So, she's responding to the fake ID. Yo, I ain't gonna lie. Pure softy. Credibility is going through the roof right now. Running credibility is going through the roof right now. Oh shit! Hold on, we got comments. Hold up. Let me make sure my phone don't die. What the fuck? Oh god damn! For like 30 minutes, y'all been in here. It's 8 people in here. Oh shit! Oh shit! I'm not even paying attention. Let's start reading some of these comments before we even continue. But what I will say right now, run credibility is going through the motherfucking roof, bro. Lex ain't say nothing like this. Honestly, it's hard to tell what's going on. At this point, they show you everything they want you to see. I got another part that's coming out soon. I had to do multiple parts this week. Yeah, bro, that's what I'm saying. It's you know what I mean? And that's the reason why I wanted to wait. You know what I'm saying? But thank you for posting this because I personally don't want to do videos on this. I'll definitely react to it and I'll give my opinion that way. You know what I'm saying? Because that's really what I'm supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? I done publicize the whole case, and now I'm just reacting to all the evidence. You know what I'm saying? You're helping present the evidence, you know what I'm saying, back to day one, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, they was on a 90 day probation to me. I felt like if any information came out within 90 days of Lex's video that was substantial, and obviously this substantial, this month for 2 hours. That's 4 times as long as as Lex video. God damn. God damn. Bro, you definitely doing good, bro. Like I'm saying, you definitely doing good. Elo in the building. Oh yeah, I seen some of the shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad everybody pulling up, bro. Damn, 9 people in this bitch. God damn. And it's looking bad. And she has all this evidence. Why didn't she start what she did? She released it on the motherfucking. She released it on the Google Docs first. That's the reason why nobody took it serious, though. Nobody took that Google Docs shit serious. It was like, nigga, make a video. But it's like she has all this evidence. Why didn't she start what she did? She just had so much that she wouldn't have been able to make a video in a certain amount of time. And yo, I ain't gonna care. She is making a lot of sense to me, bro. It's making a lot of sense to me, bro. More sense than it was at first, bro. I streamed like I know way longer, way early in the morning, bro. I was mad as hell. So everybody was working today. That's why nobody pulled up. All right, everybody was working today. Everybody was working on motherfucking. All right, so Green is 18. All right, but so that means Cali is 18. Yeah, she. Wait, no, that wouldn't make sense. Yeah, it would, because 16 being the most blue, and then 11 being nah, because it said 11. Damn, I don't know, man. This is right. I ain't even see no yellow, bro. I ain't even see no yellow, man. I'm gonna have to go back then. I'm gonna have to go back. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. I'm gonna just put this on the screen. It says green is 18, blue is 16, yellow is 17, light blue, I think is blue 10, 14. God damn, bro. Yo, go look up that chart, bro. You know what I'm saying? Go look at that chart, bro. I ain't even gonna bring that shit. I don't even know. That's such a great area. There's so many different colors on that bitch. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But hold on. I thought Elo got a some shit dropping. You know what I'm saying? Go check out his channel. Shout out to Elotistic. We think about, oh man, we can talk about that shit later. Shout out to Venezuela though. No cat. Uh yeah, bro, that shit was crazy. But that's an old video apparently. That shit happened a while ago. But it just released. Canada 16 might not known for the age. What's it called? Ignorance of the law is not an excuse. Ignorance of the law is not an excuse. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know what you're getting into before you do it. It confused me as I'm from the UK and it's 16 across the board. It's crazy because most of the United States, the age of consent isn't 16. In 34 the states, the age of consent is 16. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy because now, like, consent really don't even matter. You're not an adult until you're 21, bro. You can't buy tobacco until you're 21. You can't buy alcohol until you're 21 in most states. Not even in most states, but if there's any states where it's like that, bro, I don't even want to fuck with you unless you're 21. Like I'm saying, like, word. Is that deep because that age shit really, like, you know what I'm saying, people don't people don't give a fuck about the mentality. They look at the numbers. They look at the number and strictly look at everybody like that. You know what I'm saying? But they can't look at everybody like that because it's different in every state. That's what's so weird. And then even within the states, it's different in every city, township. I mean, all that. That's the weird thing. Like, you know what I'm saying, that's why it's like, man, what can I say? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's like, no matter how much you study this type of shit, you don't know. I was from the USA making this video. I probably had a not more. Nah, bro, you would have known less. People overseas know way more about United States than we do. I promise you. I promise you. Overseas, you know our history way better than we do. Our history is tucked away and hidden from us. Nigeria, god damn. You see, look at this. Overseas, and that's because they go by like puberty. They consider puberty consensual. That's crazy. when, when you, when you that's crazy, right? That's crazy. That's crazy. Now, when it comes to the Spanish, it's more like a cultural thing. That's what I will say. When it comes to how people look at numbers, it's a cultural thing. You know what I'm saying, they look at puberty or they look at genetic. You know what I'm saying, or brain growth. You know what I'm saying, depending on what all that is, that's how they determine your maturity. You know what I'm saying, or your intelligence. Your intelligence goes the most with that shit. I know that because Oregon and Cali have the same age. You know what I'm saying? You see, like, you're not really going to know unless you're from there. Because again, it's a cultural thing. If you grow up in an area where this is the norm and you go somewhere else, it's gonna fuck a lot of shit up. You know what I'm saying? And that's why it's like, I mean, like, bro, if I go travel, bro, this the main reason why it's hard for me to travel. Even out of the city, bro. I'm a type of person to stay to myself. Only for some, apparently only in certain cities, not even, you know what I mean, like not even in certain states, but only in certain cities, is staying to yourself like normal. Like I didn't know that. Like being to yourself, people don't like that. Like minding your business, that's not a normal thing. Not caring about what's going on around you and just doing your own thing, that's not a normal thing. I didn't know that, and I had to learn the hard way. But back to the video though.
Get into places, or that I use my fake ID to buy other minors drugs or alcohol.
But this is crazy. She brought this up. She brought this up. She brought up the fake ID. Regardless if she about to come through with a lie or not. The fact that she even brought this up, credibility going through the roof. Now, if what she about to say next is a lie, credibility about to plummet. You know what I'm saying? This is like the stock market right now. What the fuck? Yo. I might have to change the name of the stream. I might have to change the name of the stream. I don't think I can call this Justice for Lex anymore. Who the victim here? Who's the real victim here? Because if we being for real, we might have to apologize to TSP. We might have to apologize to Patch. I ain't deleting none of them videos. I don't care. That shit got 50,000 views. I never got 50,000 views on YouTube a day in my life. I don't give a fuck. But what I will say, if TSP really stood on business against everybody, that nigga the motherfucking gold. But if Pure Softy about to say some bullshit, I'm telling you, I mean, it's been a roller coaster of emotions and just like a lot of twists and turns within this case. It's to the point where I just want some type of something that is relevant to what actually happened. Like something that at least alludes to some type of event, right? Because let's say if you got 6 or 7 different statements and they're all alluding to a certain fact. Now it's safer to make an inference. Now that speculation might turn into a little bit more something that can be used as leverage to get the real information out of them. You know what I'm saying? And depending on what she say, it's definitely going to determine whether or not that 2 hour video is going to be worth watching. Now it's going to be up to the stream if y'all want to watch the 2 hour version. I'd rather look at people who spoke on the matter. That way we can get more than one host on this shit. You know what I'm saying? But this is a pivotal moment in her video. I don't know what the timestamp is, but in her video, in the original video, this is a pivotal moment in the case, not even just for her.
I did mention earlier that Lex was buying me weed and alcohol to properly get me drunk and high so that he could rape me. Even though Lex was only 20 years old, he was able to buy these substances because he was the one who had a fake ID. Lex bought himself a fake ID and shipped it to himself in the mail and used that fake ID to purchase alcohol and marijuana in America.
What? Does anybody has anybody seen has anybody seen the Google documents? Is there a picture of a fake ID in those Google documents that's not hers? Has anybody? I don't even know if she shows it, but before I even continue, has she has any fake ID besides hers been brought up? I've never heard. I never heard TSP say anything about a fake ID. I didn't hear JC say anything about Lex having a fake ID. Hold up, that would explain the passport shit. That would explain the passport shit, right? If Lex had a real American US ID, he wouldn't have needed no sponsor or nothing to get back into the states. But if that was a real, all right, it's in a video. Oh shit! I'm just trying to prepare myself for what I'm about to see. And this is just justice for the real victim because yeah, that would be the only name that isn't risky. Bro, I ain't even gonna lie, bro. Let me say this about the Romeo and Juliet laws, bro. That shit is just a failsafe, bro. That's all that shit is. Because there's so much gray area, you need to have that shit written somewhere. That's the reason why it's not always used everywhere. That's the reason why there's so many different ages of consent. You know what I'm saying? This is literally for specific for specified cases, and it's really used as a failsafe because if you can't prove this, that, and the third, you gotta do that there. But at this point, it's not even about the age gap now. It's not even about the age gap now. It's not even about that no more. I feel like it's about this. It's about that. We don't know if this is true or not. But to me, based on what's been presented so far, and that's the reason why I keep pausing it. This the reason. This the exact reason why I keep pausing it. Because if Lex has if there's a picture of a fake ID from Lex lied, and none of his statements are credible now. Because if he has a fake, that's a legal document. An ID is a legal form of identification. Why would you fake that? And you're a YouTuber, bro. What? Yo, yo, the stuff that's right here. Even though she's real calm, this is hard headed stuff. This is real stuff. Lex was responding to little bullshit or whatever, which is why people wasn't really taking it so seriously. It seemed like it was a real big deal, but it seemed like a real big deal whenever Softy was saying something. Whenever Ren said something, this case seemed like it was a real big deal. This is why. This is what she was talking about. This. Nah, I mean, yeah. Either way, Ren might be done for fucking with the bull in the first place. But if it's true, all of this, then and she was fantasizing about Lex or whatever before they even met. That's where the age of consent come in. Okay, Ren, this is what you got to take responsibility for. But Lex, she was right about you taking advantage. If all of this is true and you have a fake ID, she's right. She's right. But I'm gonna let it play, and I'm gonna try not to pause it. I'm gonna just let it play and let the bombs drop. You know what I'm saying? It's 4 minutes left. I'm gonna try to let it play all the way through.
The legal drinking age in Canada is 19 years old, meaning that Lex was already able to be drinking in his hometown and in his home country. So Lex had to buy a fake ID specifically for whenever he came to America to be with me or to be with anybody at the Z house. In these screenshots here, you can see that Lex is talking to me about buying himself a fake ID, saying, "Apparently my fake IDs came in. I have to go and pick them up." Lex then texted me a few days later saying, "Also, just used my fake ID buying alcohol to test it out and it worked." So I'm feeling pretty confident about it. Lex is saying that he's very proud to have a fake ID, and he's very proud to know that it works in America. Lex confirms that he used his fake ID multiple times in America by saying, "I might get really fucked up tomorrow night by drinking because my card works here, and man, I hope you don't get mad at me for going out because I'm gonna want to make love to you right after."
Next section, Ren talks about the fake ID situation. So she claims that when Lex moved to the US for that short period of time he did, he got a fake ID so that he could buy things like alcohol and other things like that. Because in Canada he could buy it, but when he's in the US he couldn't, because in the US the legal drinking age and all the rest of it is 21 years of age. And I'm not saying this is a good idea, a good thing to do, but people do it. People do it because, fake ID, they can do what they want to do. It's like they want to be included and all the rest of it. They want to feel cool. And if he's done it before in Canada and whatever, it's probably thinking no big deal. And to be fair, it's not a big deal to me either. But. Ren then claims that he bought the things like alcohol and stuff so then he could take advantage of it later on. And judging by the messages and the screenshots we have been provided, all the rest of it, it could be potentially true. Again, we don't know for sure. We don't know what goes on behind closed doors, but from the messages and the way he words things and what she's saying, it's not great. I mean, it's annoying because I made a video about Lex saying that I'm sorry, but now I'm conflicted again. There's just so much to take in. It's at this stage it's becoming so opinion based. Like we don't know who's telling the truth and who's not. I think to be fair, we have to wait for this to go to court because it seems like they're both going to take legal action. Anyway, guys, I'm going to make a part 2 and part 3 and all the rest of it to this video. It's far too long to explain everything now, but I'm going to sort of break it down in little chunks. So that's my thoughts and feelings about what I've seen so far and all the rest of it. Again, you guys might have different opinions. It's very hard.
Ryan, if you still here, let me know if you want me to finish playing this. If not, we can move on to the next whoever spoke about this. But what the fuck, bro? What the fuck? What the fuck? No, we was at 1440, right? The fake ID shit. We gonna go to the fake ID chapters. This, this, I have no reason to not believe this. This, like, I have no reason to not believe this. And this would explain why Lex didn't respond to certain shit. Lex ain't gotta tell us, you know what I'm saying? As much as we asked him, right? As much leeway that we gave him, as much as we was on his side, right? We done said sorry, all kind of shit, man. Niggas done deleted videos, niggas done did all kind of shit, right? The community was trying to handle this with as much care as possible, right? Because we didn't want anybody to, you know what I'm saying? We didn't want to handle anything wrong. And so far, you know what I'm saying, it seemed as if we wasn't interfering with anything. But honestly, because of what was being said, I think our original thoughts were correct. And just watch this, bro. I know we done seen it, but what we got to get the replay.
So in this
I'd like to spend some time to talk about how Lex said that I have a fake ID and that I used my fake ID to get into places, or that I used my fake ID to buy other minors drugs or alcohol. I did mention earlier that Lex was buying me weed and alcohol to properly get me drunk.
I wouldn't say that he was probably buying weed and alcohol to properly get you drunk, you know what I'm saying? But maybe he was doing that for the sake of the Z House, and he was the only person that was capable of, get like having access to this stuff. Now, maybe in the back of his mind, he was like, well, two birds with one stone. You know what I mean? Everybody in the Z house gonna enjoy themselves, you know what I'm saying? And I get to enjoy myself, and you ain't even gonna know it. That's crazy. Lex, you listen to Rick Ross, bro? I shouldn't even be calling you bro. Let me not do that. 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 But
And high so that he could rape me. Even though Lex was only 20 years old, he was able to buy these substances because he was the one who had a fake ID. Lex
that's crazy.
bought himself a fake ID and shipped it to himself in the mail and used that fake ID to purchase alcohol and marijuana in America. The legal
That sounds like, you want me to not believe that? You want me to not believe? Yo, you in a Z house full of content creators, full of young people that got unlimited resources. You're gonna want to have some fun. I always speculated that, you know what I'm saying, y'all was probably, you know what I'm saying, having fun. It was always mentioned that drugs and alcohol was involved in that Z house. But if you go look back at them ages, they wasn't even old enough to really have that stuff. But this would explain that. You know what I'm saying? And we never even questioned that. That's crazy. We never even questioned it. And at one time, did we ever go like, how they even get? I mean, we always assumed that maybe Noah or TSP or JC was old enough to get this stuff. Apparently, it was Lex the whole time.
legal drinking age in Canada is 19 years old, meaning that Lex was already able to be drinking in his hometown and in his home country. So Lex had to buy a fake ID specifically for whenever
And you don't even get checked at the border. As far as I'm aware, you don't get checked at the border. You know what I'm saying? Because there's so many ways to get into Canada from the United States. So, like, you know what I mean? Or even if you catch the Greyhound or something, they're not checking you at the Greyhound. You know what I'm saying? So, depending, you know what I'm saying? Like, just speaking in general, is this possible to do? If you're from out of the country, or even if you're in the States and you want to do something like this, is this possible to do? Yes, it's a very common thing. You know what I'm saying? So as far as this, if she was saying this about anybody, you know what I'm saying, it's very possible to do that. That does not sound blasphemous. I would never be like, man, that ain't real. No, that happens. I know. You know what I mean, you can come here, do something, and go a couple counties over, go, you know what I mean, get something off. You know what I mean, or vice versa. Like, you know what I'm saying, that's a real thing. So if you can do that from county to county, you can do that from state to state, from Cali to the East Coast, from East from the United States to Japan. You know what I'm saying? It happens from the top down. The military do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So regardless if she's saying this about Lex or not, this is something that's very possible. You can do this easily. Easily. It's almost too easy to do this.
he came to America to be with me or to be with anybody at the Z House. In these screenshots here, you can see that Lex is talking to me
Screenshots is crazy. Now, this could be fabricated, but
about buying himself a fake ID, saying, "Apparently my fake IDs came in. I have to go and pick them up." Lex then texted me a few days later saying, "Also, just used my fake ID buying alcohol to test it out and it worked. So I'm feeling pretty confident about it." Lex is
Now, is that something that Lex would say? Yeah, yeah, it sound like something. Lex talk like that. Lex talk like that. Like that might be verbatim. I mean, it looked like she's reading it. It looked like she's reading it. I mean, so this might be
can
verbatim.
see that Lex is talking to me about buying himself a fake ID, saying, "Apparently my fake IDs came in. I have to go and pick them up." Lex then texted me a few days later saying, "Also, just used my fake ID buying alcohol to test it out and it worked. So I'm feeling pretty confident about it." Lex is saying that he's
Yo, do that not sound like Lex though? Do that not? I'm gonna replay it one more time. You can't tell me Lex don't talk like this.
is talking to me about buying himself a fake ID, saying, "Apparently my fake IDs came in. I have to go and pick them up." Lex then texted me a few days later saying, "Also, just used my fake ID buying alcohol to test it out and it worked. So I'm feeling pretty confident about it." Lex
Bro, Lex talk like that. Verbatim, word for word. Even with the conviction. She was probably reading it, but hearing it, she was probably hearing his voice in her head the whole time reading it. Like, yo, there's so many twists and turns to this, but this not even the damning part. This not even a part that's like, all right, he probably did that shit. This is just like some common stuff that even if it wasn't Lex, I'm saying if she just told a story about, oh yeah, my friend, my friend does this, that, and the third, and she said this, I'm like, oh word, let me meet him. I need, you know what I mean? That part, you know what I mean? I might be into that. You know what I mean? So if Lex going back and forth, making plays like that, I wish I knew Lex at the time. You know what I mean? Yo, Lex, man, how much you need? You know what I mean? At that time, that's something I get into for sure. But this next part,
is saying that he's very proud to have a fake ID and he's very proud to know that it worked in America. Lex confirms that he used his fake ID multiple times in America by saying, "I might get really fucked up tomorrow night by drinking because my card works here. And man, I hope you don't get mad at me for going out because I'm gonna want to make love to you right after."
that's something different. That's a whole nother. I mean, you taking advantage of it. I'm not taking advantage of that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, a little opportunity, real quick. All right, man. A little quick play. All right, one and done deal. All right. But if you doing this with it, Lex, man, Lex, man, you moving wacky, cuz. You need to stop that. You ain't never seen Scarface or nothing. You ain't know, like, what? This what you trying to do? Now you trying to go out and, I mean, like, you wildin'. Facts, you wildin'. You don't, like, you don't think everybody thinks like that, bro? Come on, man. Come on, man. You ain't think you was getting lucky, bro? I need to stop calling you that, but come on. You ain't, what?
Next section, Ren talks
Oh,
about
hold on. Let me go peep the comments real quick. Hold up. Hold up. Hold on. Let me go peep the comments real quick. All right. A picture of fake ID is easier to get than an actual fake ID. Yeah, but that shit got leverage though. That shit got leverage though. Regardless if it can be fabricated or not, it does have leverage. You just have to prove that it's fabricated. That's all you know what I mean. Now, was was it proven or speculated that there are fake screenshots in those Google documents? Yeah. We're not going to act like that some of them pictures may or may not have been fake. But all right. It's also safe to assume that lawyers advise him not to adjust certain things. And he doesn't want to. All right, but screenshot. Yeah, but at the same time, it depends though. Screenshots are circumstantial. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you gotta take that with a grain of salt. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm like, everything else that she's saying after that,
the fake ID situation. So she claims that when Lex moved to the US for that short period of time he got a fake ID so that he could buy things like alcohol and other things like that. Because in Canada he could buy it, but when he's in the US he couldn't, because in the US the legal drinking age and all the rest of it is 21 years.
you see that makes sense, right? You can see that, right? That would explain alcohol being at the Z house, right? So even if Ren exaggerated those details, that just means that she exaggerated the truth. That doesn't mean that she lied. That just means that it's like, all right, man. So all it ain't all that, but this is what happened. That's still a bombshell.
Of age. And I'm not saying this is a good idea, a good thing to do, but people do it. People do it because fake ID. They can do what they want to do. It's like they want to be included and all the rest of it. They want to feel cool.
Does that sound like Lex? Does that sound like Lex? I'm like from the quotes that Ren said. You know what I'm saying, even the conviction in her voice. You know what I'm saying, that's the reason why I'm inclined to believe them screenshots, because it's like, bro, if those screen, if she, like she could have, if it was a fake screenshot, she could have said anything. She really could have said anything. She could have worded that any type of way, but she specifically worded like apparently. Started with apparently. Is Lex known for using the word apparently a lot, especially in the beginning of his sentences? If I'm not mistaken, I've heard him say, you know what I mean, like start sentences with apparently. You know what I'm saying? And then even with the conviction in her voice where she was raising and lowering the tones, that is how Lex talked. You know what I'm saying? So from the quotations to the convictions to right here, like you mean one wanting to be included, even the speculation makes sense. Like you know what I'm saying? So it's like to me, you ask me that I'm more inclined to believe, you know what I'm saying, Ren.
And if he's done it before in Canada and whatever, it's probably thinking no big deal. And to be fair, it's not a big deal to me either. But
Right,
but
it's
but
not.
but but
But
Ren then claims that he bought the things like alcohol and stuff so then he could take advantage of her later on.
taking advantage of it, if you specifically said taking advantage of being taking advantage of the fake ID, that's exactly what he did. You know what I'm saying? Now, as far as taking advantage of her, I don't know if that's what he was thinking. Maybe that was, like I said, maybe a little side quest or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he thought, I mean, all right, yeah, man, we're going to get drunk and we're going to party or whatever, thinking that that might be something that she enjoys. That would make more sense than saying, oh, she just wanted to drink. No, maybe you coerced her or peer pressured her. Peer pressure is a thing. You know what I'm saying? And then when you're drunk, if Lex is already drunk, who knows what drunk Lex is like? Ren will probably be one of the only people besides anybody else in that Z house to know what Lex is like when he's drunk. Maybe that's why TSP don't like him. Does TSP drink? You know what I'm saying? Like, does he drink casually? You know what I'm saying? Because it sounds like Lex might be a little bit of an alcoholic. So when it comes to, if you look at Lex like he's the senior that dates freshmen, right? And then he's also a party animal. That don't mix, bro. Or it don't mix very well. So I can see just how this situation came up. If you mean to tell me that, you know what I'm saying, that's what you enjoy doing and this is your lifestyle, I would tell you at all times to be careful. You know what I'm saying? I tell everybody be careful. It's more than just a phrase. You know what I'm saying? Like it's literally be careful because I know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Or I have an idea of that. You know what I'm saying? So who knows? Maybe your friends did talk to you. You know what I'm saying? How many people have a drunk friend or a drunk uncle? If these screenshots are true, saying that Lex want to get fucked up and smashed, and he's willing to get a fake ID just so that he can drink in America instead of going to Canada, visiting family, and doing that on his own time where it's legal at. Like I said, I felt like he wasn't no saint, man. Like I'm saying, but I ain't think that he's willing to be a criminal. You know what I'm saying, but if he's thinking it's no big deal, and in America most people don't think it's a big deal, that doesn't stop the law from being the law. I'm saying you got a fake ID, which means that you knew that it was illegal, and you went and continued to do it because you didn't think it was a big deal because you're in America. You know what I'm saying they might have to extradite Lex, man, because isn't that a straw purchase? Isn't that a straw purchase? I don't know how that works from like state to state. Well, I guess country to country, right? Because Canada, I'm like, isn't Canada slash US or is that they use different currency over there, so that might be a different country. You know what I'm saying? So that's internet. That's an international crime. That would be an international crime, even though it's something so small because of the location that you did it at. you can be charged with a whole plethora of crimes. And then if it's involved in something like this, and then if you did somehow in some way assault her, even just corruption, even giving her drinks when she's way younger. In Canada, the drinking age is 19. If she was 16 and you're giving her alcohol and weed when she's 6, well, weed, I mean, like, people not going to trip over 16-year-olds smoking weed, bro. They going to trip over you vaping. So, like, you know what I mean? What was she rolling it with? Was she using tobacco or was she using paper? You know what I'm saying? But as far as alcohol, I mean, she wasn't even 19. You giving her alcohol. That's a crime. And then you brought it from Canada. And then you're not even allowed to have it in the United States. So if you're not old enough to have it in the United States and you're giving it to somebody, yo, like what? You can't you can't tell me you think that's not a big deal. That is a big deal. Now, if you're just buying it for personal use, you know what I'm saying, people gonna let you slide. But if you buying it for parties and this, that, and the third, and you got people that's not even of age and you're not even of age, what you think, man? What? 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 You're a menace. You're a menace. You're out of control. You're out of control. I'm saying, like, that's why they have like the degrees of crimes, right? From infractions, misdemeanors. I don't even know all the levels of them. Like, I'm saying, felonies and all of that. But there's a reason for that, because it's like you could do something similar to what somebody else did, but because of where you were, because of how you did it, because of the period of time and this, that, and the third, how long, the extensive period of, you know what I mean? And then the evidence that's involved that can be confirmed. Oh Lord, don't let. That's what I'm saying. Don't let these screenshots be fake. If these screenshots is real screenshots, it's nasty work, big dog. And it's crazy because the truth was always there, right? As far as certain screenshots that he personally released. Why would he release them screenshots? Because maybe he knows that he'll get some pity points if he exposed something that's a little bit embarrassing. That's just speculation, though. But that's crazy to me.
And judging by the messages and the screenshots we have been provided, all the rest of it, it could be potentially true. Again, we don't know for sure. We don't know what goes on behind closed doors, but from the messages and the way he words things and what she's
That's a fact.
saying, it's not great. I mean, it's annoying because I made a video.
And then it's crazy. What she's saying is also quote what Lex is saying. So not only is this just Ren's video, but this is also technically Lex's video too, because she's quoting Lex verbatim. And if these are real screenshots, that's Lex's own evidence being used against him. And you gotta treat it as such.
Video about Lex saying that I'm sorry, but now I'm conflicted again. There's just so much to take in. It's what
Conflicted,
at
right?
this stage it's becoming so opinion based. Like,
And that's the main reason why I was so annoyed by this stuff. Because I'm thinking to myself, like, bro, we don't know. I never wanted to talk about any of this stuff because it's like, bro, we don't know. But I see the Ren's video was uploaded yesterday. So prior to yesterday, if I snapped on you because you brought up the whole Noah election, it's because nothing came up. Now, yesterday, if you brought this up, you know what I'm saying? I think somebody did bring this up yesterday, but I ignored it. But I see Ryan made a video on it. And I'm like, hold on, bro. I'm not just gonna allow a bunch of people to, try to bring my attention to this or bring this to my attention, and then allow people to upload videos, and then let there to be proof and evidence out there when I already previously made videos on this, and just let that go. Especially knowing what I said, I placed myself in this too. Like I'm saying, so I'm a little bit obligated to, you know what I mean. And then at that, if I was saying free Lex this whole time, and then Lex is guilty, I'd be wrong not to make a video. So, at the very least, I can apologize to the people that kept trying to tell me about this stuff, because I really, like, honestly, even though I don't care, there are certain things about this that I do care about, and what I do care about is the misconceptions and the lies and the hypocrisy. That's what I care about, and that was like all the stuff that I was saying to Noah and Ren and TSP, and even the stuff that I said to Lex. All of that stuff applies to Lex. even if it doesn't apply to rent, some of that stuff probably doesn't apply to TSP. Some of that stuff that I said probably doesn't apply to certain people. You know what I'm saying? And that's the reason why I was waiting for videos like this to come out, because it's like, if this come out, then it's like, all right, now it's something that I can really go off of, that, I mean, I can make sense of. And although this is bringing up a whole lot more questions, this is definitely filling in the blanks for stuff that we heard in the past. And honestly, it ain't looking great.
Like, we don't know who's telling the truth and who's not. I think, to be fair, we have
We
to wait
don't
for
know.
this to go to court, because it seems like they're both going to take legal action.
Man, that's gonna be the worst thing. If it go to court, that's gonna be the worst thing for them. That's probably gonna be the worst possible thing for them. Getting lawyers involved, knowing that they did stuff wrong. Let me tell you a little secret. The cops wait for you to call a lawyer. If you're getting interrogated, cops are waiting for you to ask for a lawyer. They're like, oh, we found something. So if off rip you got a lawyer, that's also why they advise you to get a lawyer, though.
Anyway, guys, I'm going to make a part 2 and part 3 and all the rest of it to this video. It's far too long to explain everything now, but I'm going to sort of break it down in little chunks. So that's my thoughts and feelings about what I've seen so far and all the rest of it. Again, you guys might have different opinions. It's very hard to like don't talk about this stuff and be on the mark when you're watching something like this, because you just have to just consider so many things. It's like everyone's just said different things. You've had Noah, you've had Lex, you've had Ren. Now everyone's just saying all these different things, finding different pieces of evidence, and it's like
And it's
we're
evidence.
getting shown things that they want us to see, and obviously that makes sense. They're not going to expose themselves, especially in cases like this.
Not intentionally. They're not gonna expose themselves intentionally. But based on what's being said, you look in the past.
So it's so hard to tell what's true, but it seems like to me so far that everyone is in the wrong in some way, shape, or form.
In some way,
And
shape, or
that's the
form,
problem.
exactly.
And we need to just sort of, wait till it goes to court, I guess, to find out what's really true. But I'm still going to carry on breaking this down and share my thoughts and feelings. I think it's good that we speak about this, like I keep saying, because we need to understand that these YouTubers shouldn't be part of this kind of stuff. And I want to re-emphasize that this is what happens when you're a YouTuber. You get up to stupidness like this and all this disgraceful stuff, you're going to get exposed and your life's going to turn upside down. So this is
That's
why
why I
we
be
need to show
transparent.
these other YouTubers out there that it's not okay to behave like this. Just because you're a big YouTuber doesn't give you the right to then be a disgraceful human being, like what power and fame get to your head, which is what's probably happened in this situation. And
And if that is what happened in this situation, you gotta take accountability for that. Listen, this is the main reason why I made so many videos. One, starting in the past, and especially now. Hey man, we might be here today, we might be there tomorrow. You might be here today, you might be there tomorrow. I'm saying, and if you wind up being there tomorrow, you gotta understand what got you there. You know what I'm saying, and if it just so happened to be money, fame, this, that, and the third, you gotta take accountability. I'm not going to say throw away the money, fuck up your whole life, this, that, and the third, but you see, you got fans. People is giving you a second chance. Everybody don't get a second chance. Everybody don't get a second chance. Some people don't even get a first strike. You know what I'm saying? So when something like this come up, and then you got the whole word on your side, and now it seems like you lied to us, you gotta take accountability. You should have did it to begin with, but you'll be scared. I get it. I get it. The truth hurts. The truth hurts. I get it, bro. But it's ain't it easier to just be honest, to tell the truth one time than to tell a million lies? Now that I didn't have to learn the hard way. That I learned the easy way. I just so happened to be like, oh, you know what? But what I will say, sometimes telling the truth, people still think it's a lie. Even to this day, people still think it's a lie. That's crazy work. You know what I mean? Sometimes people want to believe the lies more than the truth, and that's probably what make people lie about their situations and their actions. But I mean, like, how long does that last? And then you see how the fans react. They act surprised when, you know what I'm saying, it's because it's not an act of surprise. It's like we trying to, we hope. You know what I'm saying? It's just hopefulness. You know what I'm saying? It's hopeful wishing, to be honest with you. We hope that you didn't do this. We hope this. We hope that. And we let that get to our head. And you see, Ryan even said, man, I'm conflicted now. A lot of the community is gonna be conflicted now. And this is right after the Liberty Falls shit. You know what I'm saying? Now I understand Liberty Falls for the story, but as far as in the eyes of the people, this is a bad week, bro. Like yo, like the last 2 days of August, you get Ren exposing Lex on some crazy shit. You asking me, this is exposure. This is exposure. And then, and before that, you had Liberty Falls reveal. Oh lord, a terrible way to end the month. Terrible way to end the month, right? I'm saying, hopefully Terminus saves. I'm saying Black Ops 6. I thought. Oh, and it's bad for me because I thought the early access Black Ops 6 was gonna have zombies on it. It's only multiplayer. What I look like playing multiplayer? What the hell? Oh, I play Battlefield.
It's very unfortunate. Anyway, guys, that is it for today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll look forward to seeing you guys in the next video about this. Peace out.
Yeah, that's a fact though, man. That is a factoid. That is a factoid, man. Shout out to my dog Ryan, man. You know what I'm saying? And don't doubt yourself, man. Do not doubt yourself and do not let the numbers discourage you, man. Man, the fact you got chapters and all that, man, I'm trying to tell you, bro, your content is way better than the people. Like, yo, let me show you something real quick. I don't even know if I'm gonna put this in the video, but let me show you something real quick, man. If I go to my homepage, right? Shout out to the people that I do watch. But what the hell is this, bro? Like, besides the people that I'm going to click on, I am going to watch. I'm saving for later. You mean shout out to my dog Ryan? I'm saying this is why I watched the video. I seen this on the homepage, and I was happy as hell. I cut the stream on and everything. This is the reason why I was streaming. I was scrolling down on my phone looking for something to watch, and I seen this. I was like, bet now I can stream. I was like, everybody sending their videos, cause now we can talk about this shit. You know what I'm saying? Cause I didn't want to talk about it for a reason, but now it's like I'm more inclined to be like, all right, man. Even if I don't care, I still got. You know what I mean? I at least kind of sort of made a promise to the community. And I'd be damned if I just get 50K views off y'all niggas and then stop and try to start doing fucking Call of Duty content when I know that YouTube not even gonna promote that shit. But you know what I'm saying? Like that's the reason why I like smaller quote smaller YouTubers. Now I know you got 6,000 subscribers and all that. But you deserve more. We ain't getting out one ad that whole time. I'm saying, you see how YouTube be hating, bro. The stuff that I fuck with, man, YouTube be hating on, bro. But no, that's a fact, though, man. I think could be me, but I'm always I think we already responded to that. I wouldn't trust either. Right, I wouldn't trust neither one of them around anybody I care about. That's a fact. That's a fact. You're not babysitting nobody around me. That's a fact. It's gonna be take your cousin to work day. Take anybody to work before they babysit them. Fuck that. Be the zombies community versus yeah, that's a fact. Her versus death. That's a yo. But who knows?